Sorry, I'm a little bit late here. It's a lot of stupid technical difficulties with this streaming service. It's fucking terrible. I hate it. I want to get a new streaming service. I'm trying to find one. I've been looking for a good one for like ever. None of them fucking work right. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with that shit. It's really fucking annoying. So then I gotta have this stupid green screen here. It doesn't work well with my fucking microphone. It doesn't work. It doesn't make me look good. I don't know what the fuck. The camera doesn't look right. This streaming service is terrible. I'm gonna still bring you some great content. I'm gonna have my screen up so I can show you my top rankings for each position. So you won't even have to look at my stupid ugly mug anyway, with this stupid fucking streaming bullshit. Anyway, sorry about all that. It's just really frustrating. But I hope you all are having a great night. I'm going to be actually real quick. I'm going to get this, try to get this link out to more people real fast, and then I'm going to get right into it. So while I'm doing that, go ahead and load up your questions there in the chat. I'm going to get to those periodically. If I don't, right away, I'll get to them definitely at the very end. So got a little Hefeweizen for you all. So bottoms up, or at least take a sip with me. As far as weed goes, they're a little something different. Don't got the bong going. Got these little things here. They're called kites. I don't know if you can see that because this fucking streaming system sucks. But anyway, so these tiny little fucking joints, just enough to get by. So anyway, this is some Blue Dream for y'all's. I'll light it up. Blue Dreams. Happy week 3, everyone. So I'm gonna get this link out there. Get this, hey, if you can, for those of you who want to help, get this link over to all your friends, all the people that you know that would like this show, that want some advice, that want to know who to sit and who to start this week. I've got some good information for you. I got like a whole fucking bunch of it right here. Look at all this shit. I got a fucking like pages and pages of shit to fucking share with you. All right, including my rankings this week, my positional rankings. And yeah, so we're going to go into that. And of course, I'm going to answer your questions as well. Bear with me just a moment as I get this link out to a few more people, because people want to see it. They want to see the show, but they don't even know that it's here because the stupid advertising thing from the streaming service fucking didn't work right. Oh man, it's been hell. I will figure this out as this season goes along. It's all part of the growing pains. It's like you got to break some eggs to make a cake. That's just the way it works. So bear with me here. I do appreciate your patience while the computer wakes the fuck up and gets this out there. Now, for those of you who are Patreon members, don't worry. I will have my top, positional rankings up for you to download. I'm going to put those up after the show. So you'll have that as a reference tonight and tomorrow morning. And remember, tomorrow morning, I got the Tinker Sticker Power Hour. That's going to be at 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. 1 hour. I'm going to go over my deep sleepers, kickers to start, defenses to start, or stream. The injury report, weather report, all the usual shit for your Tinker Stinker Power Hour. So while you're, sitting on the pot, trying to figure out who to sit and start in your leagues, hey, you got me there to help you out, I'm not going to be in the bathroom with you. Who knows? Hey, you never know. I might show up. You drop enough acid or some shit, I might be right there next to you. You don't fucking know. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to try to get this out to a couple more people. Bear with me a minute. Like I said, if you know some people or some groups that you want to share this in, go ahead. Share this video with some groups, with some people who, can use this information. Bear with me just I'm going to switch over a couple things here. I hope you are all doing great. It's week 3. Week 1 and 2 have been fucking wacky as shit. Now that's normally the case. I mean, of course, week 1 is always, okay. So now we finally get to see if the shit we were talking about, or what we thought was going to happen is actually going to happen. But then week 2, you're like, all right, well, maybe I have a little bit better idea. But this week it's like fucking, or this time it's like topsy-turvy. There's a lot of shit that I think is legit, but then also a lot of stuff that I think is, we have these like little like 2 week things and everyone falls for it because it happens for 2 weeks and then it drops off. So anyway, we'll go over that kind of thing too. If not tonight, then tomorrow morning on the Tinker Stinker Power Hour. So bear with me as I plug this show to more people. Let's see if Jesus, I don't even have a link. Why is there no link for this shit? Sorry. All right, we're gonna start here in just a second. I'm just trying to undo the bullshit that was done by the fucking program and not getting this out, advertised to you people so you know that I am actually here. I like that there's some of you here now, but you know, the more the merrier, right? So let's get this going. All right, that's good enough for now. Let's get this fucking show started. I'm gonna check up with you. We got 10 people here. That's good. I'm also gonna be releasing this afterward. I'm gonna do like edit a little bit off the top of it and then release it afterwards. To those who didn't get to see it live, but of course live is always better. But can't always get what you want. But it's okay because you'll still be able to watch this and see the content. I'm probably gonna cut it off after this point. Hey there, fellow fantasy football freaks. What's up? Yeah, it's time for the benches and bumps. Yeah, live benches and bumps. A little bit different than I was doing it last year where I had, all the nice little, all the edits and all that shit going on and all the post-production. Just took forever to fucking do, I may as well just get you the information instead of taking days to make it and not be able to, work or do anything else, run myself into an early grave just for what's the point? I got it right here for you. I can do it right here and right now. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get there in just a second. I'm going to check out the chat and see if we've got any good, some greetings here. What's up, Matt? Yeah, hashtag Tyrant King. That's right. Whenever you tweet fantasy football, hashtag Tyrant King. Let them know. Hasu, what's up? How's it going? Pam, what's up? Good to see you again, Pam. What's up, my fellow hashtag Tyrant King, Nick Stafford? Hey, you're in the fantasy kingdom league. We might do actual shows about that. What do we got this guy? Nigel Milosev. Cheers. Hey, cheers to you, Nigel. What's up? I love that name. I used to have a friend named Nigel, like back in the day. He was an interesting character, I'll tell you what. But anyway. What you got here? Drinking some Zombie Dust IPA? Hey, good shit. Matt, cheers at 420? Yeah. That's right. It's not 420 anyway, but we'll pretend. We'll just pretend. Hashtag Tyrant Gang. Yeah, there we go. Cass, Big Cass, what's up? I have arrived. Yeah, we know when you've arrived, Big Cass. That's right. Thoughts on Tom Brady this week? Good. Samuel or a Wilson. As far as like the whole game with Tom Brady, it's he hasn't been showing up. I'm not liking the weather. We're gonna see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. I don't trust it yet. There's probably other better options there. I'm not saying he's gonna shit the bed or nothing, but there's probably better options at this point. Samuel or Wilson, that's a good one though. Curtis Samuel's been consistent. Garrett Wilson is going to obviously be a superstar, so you could roll the dice on that. I'm going to go over all of that here, though, in just a little bit, Matt. So hold tight. I'll have a better answer for you with some actual shit going on. Cash, shut the fuck up. Yeah, we all know that. Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore. I like Moore barely, but we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna have all my rankings up, so don't worry about it. So I'm gonna get into the questions later. Let's see. The Vienna wieners are definitely special episode worthy. Of course you are, Carolyn. They're all special episode worthy as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, it's always 420. Hell yeah. That's right. That's right. So there's some good questions here. I'm gonna get to those here in a little bit. So bear with me. But what I'm gonna do first is go over my benches and bumps. And yeah, it's weird the way this streaming service works. I can't put in a video quite. I'm gonna have something set up for next time so I can actually get the bass line in it and the whole fucking the song and the little video clip. I'm gonna get that. It's gonna look a little janky, I'm sure. But we got to do this right. So this is the last time. Oh yeah, this is the last time you'll see the green screen. Actually, in fact, tomorrow morning I'm going to have some more stuff. I'm going to have some stuff up. I'm going to get the set starting to build up more and more. As time goes on, I'm going to have a logo going on and the whole thing. So don't worry, we're getting there. All right, we're building this shit up. Yeah, taking some steps back this season because I've had to. But I'm still going to ramp it up. I'm still going to do it. We're still doing this season. It's going to be fucking great. All right. We're off to a good start. Here we go. Because we all know what time it is. That's right. It's time for benches and bumps. Benches and bumps. Benches and bumps. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll throw that yeah in there in the actual song. I don't know. Maybe I won't. We'll see. So I'm going to share this real quick. We're going to go into the little, what is it? The Inception. Like, oh, shit. Bah! All right. Don't worry. It's going to go away in a second. So we're going to start off. Hold on. We're going to start off with the wide receivers. And I will go to the next slide whenever the fuck I want. Because that's how we roll. Hey, can I fucking pause it? All right, there we go. All right. So anyway, wide receivers. As you can see there, I got the rankings up. I've got my little thumbs up for my bumps. And we're gonna go over those. I don't know. I've seen that there might be a little screen over here with me. While you're looking at that, there's like a little screen, and it might cover up some shit. I don't know because I can't see it. That's the problem. The streaming service doesn't exactly show me everything. So if there's a little screen covering some of the guys over in the corner, I apologize. I hope not. I hope you can just see the whole screen. Let me know if you can or not. If you can't, I'll minimize it so you can see. But let me know what you're missing, and if it's covering part of it or not. Anyway, it's a work in progress. We'll get there. So, but let's go over the bumps real quick, and then I'll come back and I'll see what's going on. I'll fix whatever needs to be fixed. But anyway, you should be able to see my week 3 wide receiver rankings 1 through 30 right there, starting with Justin Jefferson, etc. No, but let me talk about a few guys here. So I'm gonna admit right off the bat, okay. In the offseason, I was totally wrong about Amon-Ra St. Brown and a sophomore slump, all right? I was wrong about that. I'll admit. Okay, if anything, he solidified himself as a possible semi-stud as a wide receiver in fantasy. I do think that this flags off a bit toward the end of the season when Jameson Williams comes back to make his debut, since he's on the pup right now. But for now, we're riding this wave. Yeah. I know I don't really have to tell you to start this guy as he's a borderline stud, but I want to make sure that I do acknowledge that I was dead wrong on this one, but I learned from my mistakes. I don't just keep making them. I learn from them. All right? So you learn with me. St. Brown has a killer matchup this week against Minnesota. The Vikings just gave up double-digit fantasy points to 3 different receivers in week 2. 3. This should be a game that will light up the scoreboard in reality and in fantasy. So you definitely want the Lions' top target in this game. The sun god will shine on your team with points aplenty and energize your squad to victory. So bump his ass up. Yeah. Now, check it out over there, number 60. Got Christian Kirk there. That might even be too low on him. I think he's going to have a great game. Years ago, I said that in time, Christian Kirk would be a star and a fantasy asset to be coveted. All it took was a couple years and a change of scenery to make my prediction a reality. Kirk has arrived, and he's here to stay. The Los Angeles Chargers D is a force to be reckoned with, but points will be needed to be scored, and Trevor Lawrence will be thrown to Kirk early and often in the uh, as he has been in the first 2 weeks. If that's any indication, he's going to continue that trend, and that's how they're going to score those points to keep up with the Chargers. 18 targets through 2 weeks. He's getting the target share needed to be a fantasy stud. All right. He's the wide receiver 8 in PPR so far this season. He's earned this the set it and forget it tag from me, as far as I'm concerned. Full endorsement. I've liked this kid for a long time. Set it and forget him. This should be the last time I need to talk about him on this show. You should just have him and put him in your lineup, but don't fucking worry about it. All right? Bump him up this week and every week. He's a steal as a flex where most of you draft him, but he's a damn solid wide receiver too as well. All right? All right. You want something a little more bold? Here we go. If you can't see it down there, the 27, 28, 29, 30. There at number 30, I got Adam Thielen. All right? Everyone's down on him this year. They're like, oh, it's the end. I've been watching him be dropped in leagues. If he's dropped in your league, go pick his ass up. Okay? How about so anyway, here's a little more bold prediction. I'm predicting a bounce back game from Adam Thielen. Every year, the fantasy crowd underrates this guy, and every year he shoves his massive pecker in the collective faces. He's a flex with wide receiver 2 upside and always gets treated like a wide receiver 4. Yeah, he's only amassed around 17 fantasy points in the first couple weeks of the season, but I sense a bigger game this week. The Vikings smell blood, and they're about to feast and pillage and rape. Well, okay, hopefully not rape, sorry. But, the point is, all right, if Thielen can't put together a fantasy viable stat line here, you can go ahead and cut ties with them. All right, this is a perfect setup for him to bounce back. I see it happening. All right, I have a feeling that AT gets a big one this week. All right, so bump him up to your starting lineup. Yeah. All right. Now, as you can see there, or if you can't, you can't. But at number 28, they got Garrett Wilson. Got a little caution next to him, all right? Showing a little caution with Garrett too much. I still have him as a starter in most leagues, but I don't think that he's going to have the monster week that he did last week. With 22 targets the first 2 weeks, it's obvious that Flacco loves throwing to this young stud in the making. But I see the score being lower in this game since he's got a good defense. And to top it off, they could be dealing with a soppy field with thunderstorms and rain showers expected off and on. Now, not a big drenching or anything like that. Not a deluge to be concerned about. But you're probably not excited. You're probably excited to start him. I mean, since picking him up off the waivers. But don't expect the world from him this week. Now, you might still be starting him, but hold your expectations back. Hold your horses on that just a little bit. All right, so let's go to the next one. Next slide here. Once I get through the wide receivers, I'm going to go back for a minute, make sure, see what my messages are, check some messages, answer some questions, and that kind of thing. All right, so week 3. Actually, let me go back a sec. Okay, never mind. Hold on, sorry. Trying to make sure I answer a question from earlier. Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore. I do like DJ Moore. I think that he's going to be the main guy. He is the main guy for Carolina. I think that he's still going to, be getting a decent amount of passes. He's going to get a decent amount of targets. I got him as the wide receiver 21. I think that's about right this week. Curtis Samuel might have a little bit better game, but, he's going to be gadgety, which means he's not going to fucking blow it up every week. I think DJ Moore is going to get more and more connection with Baker Mayfield as time goes on. I do like him this week over Curtis Samuel. All right, week 3, we are wide receiver rankings 31 through 60. So here we go, page 2. All right. Yeah. Look, we got some sleepers there, haven't we? Yeah. Now, I think it's time for Treylon Burks to have a game. The Titans D is going to let the Raiders build a score up, and Burks will get some points in garbage time as the Titans try to catch up. Now, he's had 11 targets through his first 2 weeks in the NFL, caught 9 of them for 102 yards. All right. I smell a big game for Burks in this one. Maybe not a breakout, but something flex worthy. I think he finds the end zone. Gets around like 13 to 15 fantasy points, something like that. He could be a super cheap DFS play or a viable flex option in deeper leagues. The Raiders aren't a defense I'm afraid of starting a team's top wide receiver against. And yeah, I don't give a fuck what the depth charts say, all right? It ain't Robert Woods. Treylon Burks is the man at wide receiver for the Titans. Be that what it is. Maybe that means he's king of a porta potty. But as far as I'm concerned, he's still someone you're looking to possibly start at a flex position. Could be a big sleeper this week. The Raiders made DeAndre Carter and Greg Dortch look like stars. So imagine what they could do for Burks. Add Burks and start him in deep leagues or as a cheap play in DFS. Or you could add him and stash him in less deeper leagues and get ahead of next week's waiver wire pickups. This week, he gets the Rams, who are letting wide receivers light him up. So with this, with the second most fantasy points given up to receivers in the first 2 weeks of the season, hey, can't go wrong with that. Could be a big sleeper. Hey, speaking of Dortch, all right, until Hopkins is back and Rondale Moore's healthy, keep starting this kid. He's actually outscored Hollywood Brown and isn't too far behind in targets either. The Rams D is letting wide receivers burn him up for big numbers, letting Drake London go off for his breakout game last week. Dortch could torch. Hey, how come no one's ever come up with that yet? Dortch the torch. Why? What? Am I really the first person to think of that one? Jesus. Anyway, Dortch could torch the Rams D for a big game, and we'll likely see a lot of points scored on both sides in this offensively inclined marquee division matchup. So, considering it's only 14% roster right now, 14%. That's it. That's his ownership, 14%. He's likely available in your league. You could pick him up one way or another. If you need depth or a flex consideration, go check him out, all right? Yeah, but now it's time for the bad news, right? We got a couple benches here. First, I never really was a fan of Juju going to the Chiefs in the first place, at least from a fantasy standpoint. I really didn't think that it was a great fit, and he hasn't exactly blown the doors off the joint. 15 points through 2 weeks isn't really pumping anyone's nerds. And this week, the Chiefs get the tough defense of the Colts to contend with. Mahomes is still going to make things happen, and I'm sure Kelsey will have a great game too. CEH will probably do all right as well. He's been doing good. If he does good in this game, that's consistent right there, and I like him. All right, but I ain't expecting much outside of those guys. Even in a game where points are needed, Juju last week, even in a game when points were needed, Juju was only targeted 3 times. Damn, wasn't he supposed to be the new it guy in that wide receiver core? What the fuck? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, that's Sky Moore. But we're going to have to wait for him to develop. In the meantime, it's like Kelsey still, and that's it. Mahomes, Kelsey, and I'm surprised to say CEH. Otherwise, you're not really pumped up for starting any of these guys, especially against a stout defense. I think it's going to be bad juju this week. Bad juju. Hey, that should be my new thing. Like, instead of like Wince or Wentz or famous or heinous Jameis, maybe I do good juju or bad juju. Hey, it's not a bad idea. Let's do bad juju this week, though, because I don't think it's going to be a big game for Smith-Schuster. So go ahead and put him on your bench. Yeah. I'm also sitting Alan Lazard. I know he's healthy, and you're figuring, hey, time to fire him up, right? Wrong. Yeah, I know. I'm still doing that shit, and you're still falling for it. Doesn't matter. Last week, he only had 3 targets and caught 2 of them. That was his debut. He didn't play in week 1. Caught 2 or 3 targets for 13 yards. Good thing he had a touchdown. Well, that would be one shitty-ass line right there. So here's the thing, though. As I said, the Bucs D is a concern. The weather is a concern. The Green Bay offense is a concern. And Lazard's target share is a concern. It's like Rodgers would rather play with the rookies and find his guy and fuck around with them instead of the lizard man. Nah, there's got to be better options either on your bench or in the waivers. And if not, you shouldn't be fucking playing fantasy football. Go play some fucking Pokemon or something. Anyway. So that's it for the wide receivers. I'm going to go back to the show, see what's going on here. Want to stop sharing? Hey, what's up? We're up to 14 people. Hey, how's it going? So that was the wide receivers. If you didn't see them, rewind it, take a look. I'm gonna check some out real quick. Let's see. Got lots of stuff going on here. Can someone tell me? Does it say somewhere? Okay, hold on. Where's Ken? I'll get to all those questions. Okay. So can someone please tell me, like, when I was sharing my screen, was there like a little screen of me that you could see down there? Let me know, because I don't see anyone answering that question. And I need to know what the fuck's going on with this shit. So anyway, I'm gonna go through some questions here, real quick, and then we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna get the wide receiver related questions. I did answer this one earlier, Pam. Curtis Samuel or DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. I like Curtis Samuel, but I like DJ Moore a little bit more. I didn't mean to pun there. Sorry, no pun intended. Thoughts on Dotson, Allen, Lockett? Here's the thing. When I made this list, it was looking like Allen wasn't gonna play. Now it's looking like he might. That's I'm glad that someone actually did ask about that, because I wanted to bring that up. I had a little asterisk, if you notice, next to Mike Williams, and the reason why is I wanted to say, and I fucking forgot. Thank you for reminding me. If Keenan Allen does play, I like him where Mike Williams is, around like the number 13 wide receiver of the week, and then you knock Williams down to about like 20 or so. That's where I have them. So of those three guys, if Keenan Allen's starting, you're starting him. Otherwise, go with Lockett. All right, Pam, Logan Thomas or Everett. We're gonna get to that. That's right. I'll come back to that one. Ignore Matt's question. Yeah. Herbert questionable. So you think that about him versus Kirk Cousins? I'm gonna be getting to the quarterbacks. Sorry, I forgot I'm supposed to only be answering wide receiver questions right now. So here we go. Sutton or Waddle? I like Waddle. Barely. Because like, okay, so yeah, they got the Bills, but Sutton has still been the guy. He still gets catches, even going back to last season, he was still playing well. I think he did well against the Bills. I'd have to look and find out, but I believe he still did had a fine game against the Bills. So I'm not really worried about Waddle so much. Sutton going against the 49ers, it's going to be tough either way. I give the slight edge to Jalen Waddle until I see him not fucking blowing it up. I'm not sitting him. No more cool jingle. We love the benches and bumps beat. I'll get it going. I promise. I just got to figure out how to get the video up on here without it making it look too bad. But anyway, you're good. Thanks. I don't know what that's in reference to, but thank you. Josh Jacobs or Olave? I'm worried about Josh Jacobs. He wasn't going to travel with the team, and then now he did travel with the team. It's fucking weird. I don't know what's going on with him. I'm worried about that. He's obviously not feeling well. I like Olave. I mean, Jacobs, if he starts, he's probably going to get some. Yeah. But how much? And that's my question. Olave's been playing well. I like him in PPR. Yeah. Barely over Jacobs. If we hear that Jacobs is like, oh no, he's fine, he's just fucking fine, there's no problem with it, then fire up Jacobs. Ask me again in the morning for the Tinker Stinker Power Hour, because I'll have some updates by then. Really, Mike Williams is 12. Is Herbert even playing? And if he is, am I starting? Herbert is playing. He's going to play through this shit. I was actually watching some fantasy doctor stuff. I'm telling you, if Herbert plays, he's going to play. It's a cartilage thing. He avoided actual breaks of bone breakage. It's just a cartilage thing. It's going to hurt, but he'll play through it. I mean, if he could play through it the way that he did at the time, after a week of rest, he's still going to do it. All right. I still like him. And I still like if Keenan Allen's in, put him in that same spot, 12 or 13, and then move Mike Williams down. Simple as that. Yeah. All right. So yeah, Just talking about that. Pick 2. Here we go. Sutton, Cooks, or Curtis Samuel. Sutton and Cooks. I mean, Curtis Samuel, is he really going to do this every fucking week? Is this really how it's going to go? It could. But I think that I like a little more McLaurin and a little more Dotson this week. I think Samuel, he's still going to be all right. That's a good 3, honestly, to have. But if I was a bet man, and sometimes I am, I like Sutton and Cooks. Because Kirk is my boy from the greatest college, the AT. Yeah. We got you. What do you think was the wide receivers this week versus Philly? I just said that. So there you go. I answered the question before I even got to it. That's crazy. Ooh, I'm not sure what that's about, but okay. And we did that. No Deontay Johnson top 30, but got Amari Cooper, very bold. Yeah, I put out I had those rankings before the fucking game started. But I work on them throughout the week. I know it's like, oh really? Sure. Honestly, if you watch my Thursday game, I'm telling you, I didn't like Deontay Johnson, and I did say that Amari Cooper was someone that you'd probably start. So it fucking matches up. Give me a break. Can I drop Ravens defense, pick up Rams or Packers to stream one each week? I would just keep streaming defenses. I think Ravens should be all right this week. Packers aren't a bad pickup this week either because of the possible weather and just the matchup in itself. Rams D. Yeah. Honestly, of the 3, go with the Rams because you can keep them. They should be all right throughout the season if they're there. Get them. I dropped the Rams, but you should have better options this week. Oh, okay. They're answering each other's questions. It's great. I love it. Do the job for me. Holy shit, there's so much to go through. Yep. Okay, yes. Yes, in the bottom right corner. Thank you. All right, so I gotta figure out how I fix that. Oh, hold on. All right, let's see if that fixes that. I don't like that. Because it blocks the shit you can't see anyway. What is it? There was, and I was trying to block it. I know. I'm sorry, George. I'll get it. I think I might have got it figured out this time. Let me know next time. We're going to fucking do this together. We're the hashtag Tyrant Gang. We could see in a tiny box. Yeah. Just answer all questions. You keep more viewers. I'm going to answer any fucking questions. That's what I'm here to do. Then go back to the show and read questions as you do your show. That's what I'm doing. Tell me to do my show. Wait till the end. What the hell's wrong with everybody? The problem is that my rankings answer your questions a lot of times, and so we'll go back and forth. That's what I'm going to do. All right, don't tell me. Don't drive my show. I don't even know who you are. Don't tell me to do my show. No, I like suggestions. Lamb, Lockett, Lamb, DJ Moore, Sutton, pick 2. Lamb, I'm just going to stick with that. I mean, I don't see any reason not to. Cooper Rush did have a good connection with them last season. I do see him having a bounce back week this week. DJ Moore. Give me Sutton this week. Sutton and Lamb. Boom. Nigel agrees. I didn't even see that shit. That's who's in now thinks. Nigel, we're all thinking alike here. Pick 2. Myers, Bateman, Allen, assuming he's playing. Assuming he's playing, I'm going Allen and Bateman. Easy. I don't sit Allen with Herbert and his issues. Pam, no. Herbert and his issues. Dude, I'm telling you, he's going to be fine. He's going to play through it. dude, I've been looking at some shit from like doctors and what they're saying. It's not really going to be that bad. He might have a little bit of trouble, but he's going to be fine. I actually like Allen. If Allen starts this week, I do, and I like Williams. Either way, don't get bad advice on my channel. That's up to me to do. Just kidding. You could sit Allen for one more week if you really think so. Come back in the morning when I do the Tinker Sticker Power Hour. I'm gonna have all the answers. Oh shit, my fucking thing's fucked up. I'm gonna have answers as far as the injuries, updates, and things like that. So we'll get to it then. Anyway, so now I'm gonna go to the running backs, and then I'm gonna come back and answer more questions. So if you have questions about running backs, put them in there now. That's how we'll do it. We'll do it, one position at a time. How about that? All right. So now if you have your running back questions, put those in there now. I'm going to put up my running back starts of the week. Let me know if the fucking little screen with my face on it is still there once we go there. So anyway, sharing screen now. Do a little thing, blah, 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 allow, da-da-da. Okay. Yep. Matrix E or not that Inception. Okay. Slideshow. Pause. Okay. There we go. Let me know if my little face is still down there in the corner covering up shit. If so, then I don't know. Then I didn't figure it out. I thought maybe I figured it out. But anyway, so here's your week 3 running back rankings, all right? Pretty standard for the most part. I'm going to talk about a few guys here. I know a lot of you who know me are looking at what the fuck is he doing? He's got David Montgomery and Miles Sanders as bumps. Talk about fucking bold. Yeah. Don't adjust your ears or your eyes, folks. I'm actually recommending a start for these guys. All right. Let's start with David Montgomery before you assume I've lost my fucking mind. And that's always up for debate. But allow me to explain. Yeah. I expect him to eventually lose the backfield to Khalil Herbert. If not this season, by next season. I love Herbert. But this just it hasn't happened yet. So, last week, Monty picked up 122 yards and 15 carries. Now, he hasn't scored a touchdown yet, but with that level of usage and efficiency, I have to believe that it's coming, and it could be this week against the Houston Texans, who aren't exactly defensive juggernauts. I expect this to be a get-right game for a lot of Bears offense, and Monty could benefit, maybe even knock on the door of RB1 numbers this week. I see something like 16 carries for around 100 yards and a touchdown, and that's a solid line. And I expect something in that range for Montgomery this week, so bump him up. All right? Miles Sanders. All right, maybe I have lost my mind. I mean, am I really recommending starts from both these guys this week? Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird season, all right? And matchups happen to be in favor of some guys I'm not normally into this week. But I got to stay professional and pick not based on how I feel about them, but based on how I think they're actually going to do. All right. Sanders hasn't actually been bad this season, and I actually think that he's a decent RB2 start in good matchups. And this week, he's got the poorest Washington Commanders D, who let James Robinson have his way, and DeAndre Swift have their way with them in the first 2 weeks. Yeah. He's sharing the backfield with Kenny Gainwell. But as long as they keep it close or ahead of the Commanders, Sanders is going to get the generous share of carries in the game for the Eagles, averaging 15 carries per game and damn near 6 yards per carry, add in a touchdown, and that should be enough for Sanders to be a borderline RB1, RB2 this week in a plus matchup. If you have him, at least as a flex or RB2, I'm bumping him up. All right? Now, I have a little caution, as you see right there. And a bench to talk about. So let's talk about both these Packers backs this week. I ain't benching Aaron Jones, but I'm definitely tempering expectations of what could be a poor weather game against one of the best run defenses in the league in Tampa Bay. Dillon, on the other hand, I'm leaving on the pine if I can afford to. The Bucs have yet to allow a single running back to get over 6 fantasy points, and while I think Jones could get enough work in the passing game to stay afloat this week, Dillon I'm much more cautious about. Not just because of the stout Tampa Bay D, but because that he doesn't get as much in the pass game as Jones. It's going to be hard to get anything going on the ground this week for the Packers, and Dillon may be the victim of negative game script in terms of what he brings to the table. A lot more short pass game and a lot less straight running will keep A.J. Dillon modest this week. So if you've got some other options and better matchups, you should start them and leave A.J. Dillon on your bench. As far as Aaron Jones, he's still starting him, but don't expect him to fucking go off this week, all right? So let's go to the next page here. All right. Look at that. Give you a second there. Now, another guy in benching is Cam Akers. I'm really sad to see what happened to this promising young running back. He could have been a solid running back one if it weren't for that major Achilles injury that basically ruined his career. It would seem anyway. He's given a healthy 15. He was given a healthy 15 carries last week, but only managed 44 yards on those, and that's less than 3 yards per carry. That doesn't seem like at all like the explosive back that we knew when he came in the league. So since he's come back from that Achilles, I'm worried. He's running like shit. His backup looks better than him, Henderson, And I really hope that Akers puts it together. But for right now, even in a decent matchup against the Cards, I'm saying that you should leave Akers on your bench until we see more. I think eventually, he could have a thing like, Saquon Barkley, for instance. He went through, a whole year of mediocre play last season, and now he's doing pretty well. I think we could see something like that from Akers. Maybe Akers needs to go to a different team, something like that. I still think that there's some promise and talent with this kid, so I'm not giving up on him. But in this game, I don't like him. As for J.K. Dobbins, yeah, we've been waiting for over a year for him to finally make a splash in the fantasy running back field and he may finally get a start this week, but I'm keeping him on the bench till I see what kind of workload he gets. I expect that they're going to ease him into the offense. And if we see no sign of a pitch count and he does well this week, we could take the training wheels off. But this week I'm remaining cautious. All right? Like Saquon Barkley last season, as I was just saying, plus the Pats D is strong against the run, giving up less than 14 fantasy points to Najee Harris last week and holding Chase Edmonds to around 10 the week before. Hold on to him, but don't start him until we see that there's nothing to worry about. If I'm a Dobbins owner, my drawers are pretty soiled, though. This could be a bust for this season, but we'll see. Now, after a couple of weird reports saying that he didn't travel and then one confirming that he did, I don't know what to make of Josh Jacobs' chances to start Sunday against Tennessee. The Titans suck cat turds through a straw, but I'm not sure what kind of workload we're going to see out of Jacobs in this one. Could be nothing to worry about. Could be worth panicking over. I mean, start him if you're low on options, but be careful. This could be a trap. All right, now a couple of sleepers I like this week. Kenneth Walker will eventually take over for Rashad Penny as the lead back for the Seahawks. There's no doubt about it. He's been getting work in the offense and has been promised more. Could this be the week that he blows it up? Could be. I'm not banking on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does put together a decent line and makes a top 10 waiver wire pickup show next week. The Falcons can be had, and Walker could be the shot in the arm that Seattle needs to get this offense going. It would be a bold-ass move, and I'm not quite ready for it in season long, but as a contrarian cheap DFS play, yeah, I like it. Now, I've also got Tyler Algier down there. He's a potential sleeper basically every week until it happens because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Will this be the week in Seattle? Could be. We could see both of these rookie rushers get theirs, or they could put up duds. Another good contrarian DFS play here. He went from 0 carries to 10 last week, so clearly he's in line for increased workload as the weeks progress. This may be a week or so early, but if he's available in your league, I at least stash him. But the Seahawks haven't shown any reason to fear them defensively, so if you're in a super deep league, he could be an intriguing flex start. All right. So that's it for the running backs there. Come back here to you guys and see what's going on. Stop sharing the screen. All right. Let's go up. Where are we at here? Okay. I would say Allen. Carolyn. Do it one position at a time. That's how we work. You can only do it in one position at a time. You can't do multiple positions at once. Just doesn't work that way. Show me someone who can, and I'll fucking pay him to teach me how to do it. Jeff Wilson or ETN. I'm going Wilson. ETN until we see him actually take over as the running back there. Okay, it's James Robinson as the 1A to his 1B. I'm starting Robinson. I'm not really starting ETN until we see it. I love Travis Etienne in Dynasty. And if you can get him on the cheap right now in season long or in Dynasty, do it for sure. But in this game right now, I'm liking Wilson. Yeah, good stuff, Carolyn. Pollard or Etienne. Oh, see, now you're crossing the streams here. Oh no. What am I thinking? Yeah, give me Pollard. Well, I don't know. Let me go back to that real quick. Let me look at something real quick. What did I have? My first inclination is Pollard just because, they're going to throw. But, hold on. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sticking with that. I like that. That's where my ranking. I was just trying to make sure I wasn't like contradicting my rankings, and I'm not. I'm sticking with that. Yeah, I like Pollard over ETN. What we got here? I think Monty is super underrated running back, in all honesty, because he is on the Bears. Phenomenal runner and pass catcher that makes people miss and fights for extra yards in every play. I agree to an extent, but I think that Herbert has shown that he can be more explosive. I just really like what he brings to it. Same, he gets crazy hate, yeah. But I don't hate Monty. I actually was talking him up a lot last season. This season, I was worried about him, but honestly, he's the only member of the Bears I'm really starting right now. Like the conversation here. Sanders, Fournette, Gibson, pick one. Miles in for now. It's hard to start him over Fournette. It's really hard for me to want to start him over Fournette. Yeah, I like Eckler and Najee already. Yeah, I mean, I see why you do it. There's some merit to it. I personally am starting Fournette. I think that there's going to be a lot of running going on in that game, in the battle of the base. I really do. I actually like Fournette. You'll probably go Sanders, though, and then you'll be right. No, honestly, it's close for me. It's close between the two of them. I'm giving a slight nod to Fournette, but if you want to go Sanders, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't make fun of you. I wouldn't laugh at you and flip you off and call you a shit. I wouldn't do that anyway because I like you, Pam. Yeah. We'll see. That's the only reason I'm worried about him. So let's do it this way. If they come out tomorrow morning, they're like, no, dude, he's fucking fine. There's no problems. 100% good to go. Go Fournette. If they're saying he's going to be a little banged up, but he'll go, then maybe you go Sanders. Let's do that. Again, come back and see me tomorrow morning for the Tinker Stinker Power Hour. I said like a 2-year-old, that Tinkle Stinkle. The Tinker Stinker Power Hour, and we'll go over that, and I'll answer that with a little more information by then. Can't afford to get Jim. Who can? All right, let's move on to the quarterbacks this week, ladies and gents. Quarterbacks. All right. Oh, by the way, was my stupid head still down there in the window this last time? I tried to take the picture out. I'm in church. Oh, that's right. You're in church. This is your Tinker Stinker Power. All right, I got you, Pam. I'll do the best I can. I'll still answer your questions because I know you're going to send me some in the morning too. I'll answer those. Don't worry. All right. So on that last bit, though, was the screen still down there? I hope it wasn't. If it was, then fuck. I gotta figure something out. It's not that bad, but it's kind of chintzy because I got my notes here. I'm trying to go with, but anyway, sorry. Let's move on. Hold on. Whoa, what the hell happened here? Head was not in there. Thank you, Matt. My brother or Murray. Oh yeah. So I like this. Yep. So put your quarterback questions in there now because we're gonna go to the quarterbacks. I like this system, guys. We created it together. Thank you. All right. Back to this bullshit. And yep. Okay. All right. So there you go. There's my quarterback rankings for week 3. Of course, you got Josh Allen at the top. I like Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson over the likes of Mahomes. A lot of people like Mahomes over those guys. I'm not, I love them. I'm not afraid to bump these guys up, these mobile quarterbacks. Fuck all the rest of them. Here's another guy a lot of people are afraid to bump up. I ain't not afraid to bump him up, and that's Captain Kirk Cousins. Yeah. All right. Now, I know that this season isn't looking as good as it was last season for Captain Kirk, even though offensively, this season projects better for him. The thing is, the first 2 weeks, he faced some pretty stiff competition, including week 1 against a stout Green Bay defense and an underrated Philly D. But this week, he gets the purring kittens of the Motor City, who, over the first 2 weeks, straight bent over and took it hard from Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. Hurts, I understand, but watching Wentz tee off on him, it looks like the Lions will just give it up to anybody. Their defense is like Lindsay Lohan in her prime. Who's the modern equivalent of that? All right. I'm sorry. I don't know what the modern equivalent of that is, I guess. I mean, we know people still know who Lindsay Lohan was, right? All right. Put it in the chat though if you know who the modern equivalent is, because I gotta get more updated with my references here. But anyway, basically they're defensive whores and they give it up to everybody, just like Lindsay Lohan. Anyway, at home against a piss poor defense, but a decent enough offense to keep them in the game. I expect a lot of work from Cousins and maybe even a bounce back week from Thielen. I mentioned that earlier. Irv will get some work too, and of course Jeffy's gonna feast, but it'll be Cousins feeding them all. And I like him as a start this week, so bump him up. Derek Carr, hey, copy and paste what I just said about Kirk Cousins for Derek Carr. The Titans are awful. Like, King Henry can't even get it going awful. Defense and offense are just abysmal. Carr and Adams are connecting like they did back in the college days. Waller's still a baller, and Carr is primed to get right game right here. The Titans, I think they're the team to oblige them on this one. They even made Danny Pennies look serviceable. With some question marks at the running back position, including Josh Jacobs almost not traveling with this team, I think the Raiders will lean on the passing game this one, and that's going to be 20-plus fantasy points for Carr. Even with scattered rain and thunderstorms, I think Carr's going to throw a lot and get the job done. Don't let a little rain scare you. If you're suffering from QB woes, Carr's the way to go. All right? Now, as you see right here, I got a little sleeper. His name is Matt Ryan. Matty Ice, yeah, I get it. He's melted into a tepid puddle of piss this season. He wasn't too bad in week 1, but completely went to bed in week 2. Of course, he didn't have his top target, Michael Pittman, last week, and the Jacksonville D may be underrated. This week, though, he gets Pittman back, and he'll be enjoying some home cooking against the Chiefs. The Kansas City D has been pretty generous to QB so far this season, though they have faced a pair of studs in Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray. But Patrick and the Mahomes are going to score a bunch of points in bunches, so the Colts will need to do the same. Matty will be connecting with Pittman a ton, but I'm sure others will mix in the pass game as well and still need to force it downfield to keep up. Matt Ryan is still a decent enough QB to do that, and he's actually has guys to throw to this time around, so we could see a surprisingly good game from him here. A good start in a 2 QB and Superflex league and worth a cheap contrarian play in DFS. Now, who do we got on the bench, though? Yeah, I'm making the bold play here, and I'm benching AA Ron Rodgers this week. I think that he eventually gets it together and becomes a fantasy viable QB again. But it won't be in this game. The Tampa Bay D, as we know, is legit, giving up just over 15 fantasy points the first 2 weeks total to quarterbacks, absolutely stifling Dak Prescott and Jameis Winston. And this week, the Tampa Bay D will benefit from playing at home against the struggling Green Bay offense, who just doesn't have the weapons to get Rodgers going. I do think Rodgers gets back into fantasy relevance, like I said, just not this week. And as long as you have a decent replacement, consider leaving Aaron Rodgers on your bench. Hey, I'm also benching Ryan Tannehill. As far as you know, or as you all know, I'm not that big of a Tannehill fan anyway. But this season, the Titans have been anemic on defense. No, you know what? That's offensive to people with anemia. But anyway, you get the point. They've sucked fat horse testicles, and against the Raiders in a game where the Las Vegas D is going to get a little help from a special 12th man or woman in the form of Mother Nature, I don't see them bucking that trend. With rain and thunderstorms expected throughout the game, Tannehill will likely catch a break in this one. I know I gave a bump to Carr earlier, and he's playing in the same game with the same weather, but I think that Carr's a much better QB and can weather the storm, no pun intended, better than Tannehill. So for this week, and until further notice, I'm putting Ryan Tannehill on your bench. And I got a little caution out there for Tua Tagovailoa this week. Yeah, Tua went the fuck off last week and is loaded with weapons on offense to help him really put together a breakout season. And yeah, he's likely going to do enough with this offense in week 3 to be viable, but don't expect a big week like he had last week or even half as good. The Buffalo Bills D is nothing to fuck with. Just as Matt Stafford and Ryan Tannehill, who combined for just ask Matt Stafford and Ryan Tannehill, who combined for under 13 fantasy points in the first 2 weeks of the season, facing the Bills stacked D. That's fucking disgusting. If you picked up Tua off the waiver wires and are excited to use him, you better rein that shit in. Maybe you start him if you've got no better option, but I wouldn't drop him to the stream, to stream another QB, but temper your expectations here. Plus, there could be some rain and thunder in Miami, so the weather could be a factor as well. All in all, if you have other options, you may consider them this week over Tua. All right. So there you go. Let's get back to the show. Ayo. All right. So let's get hold on. Let me answer this question. You really think Herbert takes over from Monty this year? I think Monty is the better running back in all honesty. Herbert has shown some moments, but I live in Chicago, so watch every single game. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that he's taking over this year necessarily, unless barring injury, but I think that it does happen eventually. I like what Herbert brings to it. I think that eventually Herbert will prove out to be the better running back. We may disagree on that, and that's okay. But we'll see what happens. I do think that as far as Monty's healthy, it's his job. I'm not gonna say otherwise. Thanks, man. You're good. Hold on. My brother Stafford and Murray, going with Kyler Murray. I think that's I think it's gonna be good for him. I like Kyler Murray. I like what he can do. I like his potential. The matchup's fine. I think he gets the better end of it. I don't. The Rams might still win, but it's going to be more because of the defense, I think. But I still think that Kyler Murray is going to get his a little more than Stafford, at least a little more. All right, this is such a fucked up 2022 question. Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, or Jimmy G? Oh, Jesus. Give me Matt Ryan this week. It pains me to say it, but yeah, I kind of like Matt Ryan of those three. Kirk Cousins or Herbert. Go Herbert. Unless they're coming out saying that he's, more hurt than they thought or something. The thing is, like I said, it's just cartilage damage, which is painful. It's going to be hard for him to breathe, but he's still going to work through it. Just a little Toradol, and he'll be fine. Okay? Thoughts on Brady? Mediocre. I'm not into starting him until I see him actually put a game together. Sorry. Gino or Winston? Good God, why? Tell me that's in a 2 QB league or something. Winston. Russ or Tua? Russ. I think Russ can be okay against the 49ers. He always plays well against the Niners. I don't think a change of scenery to a different team, one where he's got just as good as weapons, is really going to make much of a difference. All right, so your rankings answer my question. Thanks for getting brain injury Hunter Renfro. Oh, no. Moving his woozy ass to IR allowed me to pick up Matty Ice. There you go. So 2 over Brady? Yeah, barely. I'm just not trusting Brady until I see it. I'm just not. It's. I already said last season, I said that, if he does play again next season, I see a major step back for him. With Evans out, on suspension, and that the offense is banged up, I don't trust him. I don't like it. The weather's not going to be great. There you go. Hey, some Chicago friends right there. There you go. The Bears, they suck. All right. Jimmy G. I like Jimmy. I like that the 49ers are the best backup in the league. Of course, I was playing poker. All right, so I'm fucking trying to play poker, and meanwhile, I can see up on the big screen as I'm playing a hand. I watch my fucking hopefully soon to be franchise quarterback go down with a season-ending injury. That sucked. Talk about putting someone on tilt. Damn. Anyway, there was another 49ers fan at the table, and he and I were just fucking just having a cry fest for sure. That was tough to see. But Jimmy G should be fine. But I don't. He never really does all that great in fantasy. Once in a while he does, but I mean against the Broncos D, I'm not seeing it. I know your ranking said that, so I'm not sure what you're referring to. But anyway, it's okay. All right. So next up is tight ends. Put your tight end questions in there. As far as kickers and defenses go, I'm going to do that on the Tinker Stinker Power Hour. If you can't make it, I'm going to be answering questions early in the morning on all the fucking chats and shit. I'm banned from a lot of fucking pages right now. Oh, man. It's just a bunch of jealousy and bullshit, and I don't like it, but that's just the way it is. All right? They don't like, whatever, some places they just don't like you to share your links. Some places it's just because they're assholes. Well, I got to do what I got to do. But I'm going to be trying to find more pages to put this on. I'm going to be answering people's questions on every page that I can tomorrow. Okay, so, you'll see me in the chats in there. I'm also going to be, pumping, getting everyone prepared for the Tinker Stinker Power Hour, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So, anyway. Lewis, or is it Louis? I don't know. Hi, I need some trade advice in my half PPR league. I'm looking to trade for an RB2. Currently, I was thinking about trading Waddle and ETN for Javonte Williams. I wouldn't do that. My other RB1 is Saquon. I think that you're on the right track. I ain't giving up Waddle and ETN for Javonte Williams. I mean, maybe I'm giving up Waddle and ETN for Jonathan Taylor, maybe. But short of that, I don't know. I mean, Waddle, I think, is a surprise to a lot of people. He's going to be a high-end wide receiver, too, this season, easily. And I've been saying it all offseason, and everyone's like, no, it's all about Hill. It's all about Hill. Hill's going to get his, too. But Waddle isn't going to fall off the face of the earth. I like Waddle. I wouldn't trade both of them. So what I would do is probably trade ETN. Take your next wide receiver down. See what you can get. Get ETN, them together. Try to talk them up. Like, ETN's going to take over. And I think eventually he does. But, try to talk him up. That's what I would do. I mean, sometimes it's really hard to make trades like that because you don't have a guy that you want to give up, really, but you don't have a guy that's good enough for them to give up their guy. And sometimes you're in that situation, and that makes it really difficult. But I'm not going to fucking throw away Waddle for that. I would go for someone much higher up in pecking order than Javonte Williams. I like Williams, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he's that good. I'm confused with this since some people are saying sell high on him, but he has a high ceiling. Who are we talking about here? Hold on. I'll have to go back and figure out. Hold on. All right. Don't do that. Don't trade Waddle. Yeah, I agree with Pam there. Dalvin Cook for Monty and Keenan Allen? No, keep Dalvin. Do you like Isaiah Likely as a long-term hold? I do. I think that he may find a good role even with Andrews as number one. I do. I agree with you on that. I mean, there's a reason why they drafted him, and he's one of the top-rated tight ends coming out of college. I actually talked about him, how much I liked him a lot earlier in the season, and before he was drafted to the Ravens. And then when he was drafted to the Ravens, like, what the hell? What's he gonna do? I do see, especially if Andrews goes down. That's he could be a big time. You could have a league winning tight end right there. If a tight end can indeed be league winning, and that's the question, because I don't think so. But yeah, no, I think he is someone that I'm holding on to. Could be someone that produces more later in the season. In Dynasty, I'm super excited about him. In season long, I'm stashing him. All right, so Lewis says, I'm confused. Hold on. Let's see if I can get some answers here. All right, confused in a sense. Some people are saying sell high on him. Oh, are you talking about Waddle? Yeah, you know why they're telling you to sell high on him? Because he got a lot of points. These people do that with all these guys. They get a lot of points. Oh, sell high on him. Well, why don't you just keep him if he's going to score a lot of points? Oh, because we don't think that that's sustainable. Well, that might not be sustainable, but he's still going to sustain a wide receiver 2 level production. You're not going to want to give that up unless you have completely fucking loaded at wide receiver. I wouldn't do that, and I would try to go with someone who I think is going to have a more solid share of their backfield than Javonte Williams. I love Javonte Williams, and I think eventually, once Gordon's out of there, the guy becomes a superstar. But with Gordon there, it kind of holds him back a little bit. I think I would try to go up another tier, personally, if I'm going to do something like that. Blue Crew, half-point PPR, 10-team, pick 1 running back. Michael Carter, Jamal Williams, or Mostert. I guess I'm going Michael Carter. Yeah. I'm not too big on the other two. That's the only reason why. I'm not so big on Carter because I really think that as the season goes on, Breece Hall is going to take more and more of the offense away from him. But I think this week, of those 3, I like Carter. Thoughts on what? What do we do? Dalvin Cook. Oh, yeah, I answered that. Okay. Will DJ Moore and ETN be a better trade for Javonte? Absolutely. I would do that in a minute. I would trade Moore and ETN for Javonte. I mean, it's a good trade. It's not like you're not like hitting it out of the ballpark necessarily, but it's a good even trade for both sides. I would do that definitely before I would Waddle for sure. Adams, Waddle, Moore, Bateman, and Elijah Moore. You're probably not going to get him for Bateman, likely, with ETN. If you could, I don't even know if I really. Bateman could actually end up being better than Moore, but Moore's got the name value. I would try Moore, but I'm not giving up Waddles. Adams or Waddle? Waddles. Did you any of you see that? Like when Jalen Waddle fucking scored, there were people in the audience going, Waddle. Is that a thing? For you Dolphins fans, is that a thing you guys invented? You Waddle. That's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. I love that shit. Would you trade Waddle for Mike Evans right now? This 1 week suspension doesn't mean much to me. That's a tough one. I see them as pretty even, honestly. Yeah, why make that trade though? I mean, what are you trying to gain out of that? I don't think you're gaining enough out of it to really risk, the. Well, I just think Tom Brady's taking a step back. I think that that offense in general is taking a step back. I don't know if I'm making that trade. I don't. Well, I guess I don't see why it's too. Parallel to me, honestly. Wow, you're throwing away Waddle. The idea is sell high, not low. Yeah, exactly. Waddle's better than Evans. I think. Pam, you probably. I don't know. Oh, it's so close. It's so close between them. I don't. When a trade's that close, it's like, what am I gaining? What am I getting out of it? What could I end up losing? Healthy is awesome. Strong QB. Yeah. So there's a whole conversation going on here. All right. I like Waddle, but I love Evans too. Yeah. Hold on. Trending up, Bucks trending down. Agreed. What do you say for Cook for Mont? No, I like Cook. More on ETN. Yeah, definitely. I'm okay with that. 10-team PPR, trade away Josh Jacobs for hell no. No. I'm not trading Josh Jacobs for Devin Duvernay. I like Devin Duvernay, but I think that Josh Jacobs is worth a lot more than that, for sure. You can at least get a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2. Duvernay is kind of like a flex option at times. I like him. I mean, he's my double deep danger dive of the year. He could be a flex option any time of the week, but no, I'm not trading Josh Jacobs from Josh Jacobs. You're likely using in flex a lot anyway, especially if you got a lot of good running backs. But that's more solid. You're definitely going to get something out of him. Duvernay, he's going to have some weeks that are going to be down, just because of the way they play. They go through Mandrews, they go through Bateman. Duvernay's third in the pecking order. Now, again, I like him because a lot of people had him off their fucking radar, and I think that that's completely wrong. You got to have him under your radar. But still, I'm liking Josh Jacobs better as far as the whole season goes. Chris Hicks, ETN or Damian Harris to start? What do you think? 14 team? Damn. That's a good one. Let me go back to my because I know it's pretty close. Let me make sure on my rankings real quick what I had there, because I believe I had them very close to each other. Yeah, I have Harris a little bit over ETN. I think that's good. I just don't see it from ETN right now. Again, until we see it happen, I can't trust him. I can't put ETN. I like Travis Etienne. And in Dynasty, if you're asking me in Dynasty, yeah, I'd rather have Travis Etienne than Damian Harris. This week, who am I starting? Damian Harris, because he's been getting the ball. They've been trusting him. I think as the season goes on, Ramondre Stevenson's gonna, cut into him a little bit. But for right now, I'm sticking with Damian Harris as far as that goes. Should I start Zeke, Gabriel Davis, or Bateman at the flex? If this is PPR, I'm definitely going Gabe Davis. He's supposed to be fine. I see no problems with it unless we see a report coming out tomorrow that he's going to be on snap count or something. I don't think that's going to be the case. I like Gabriel Davis in the flex if it's PPR. In fact, even if it's non-PPR, I just don't like Zeke. I can't trust him right now. And Bateman I like, just not quite as much as Gabe Davis. Floor gets you to the playoffs, but upside wins championships. Well said, sir. Well said. Javonte and Waddle for Eckler and London. My thoughts on that. I'd say that's pretty fair because I really like London. I think if you can get that, that's fair. But I think by the end of the season, barring uh, injuries, I think London and Eckler end up being the better pair. So if you can get that now, because you're not going to be able to get that later on, I'd do it. Thoughts on Cole Beasley coming back? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think that there's so much of a need there. I think that you could see something from him. I think you could see something from Julio in this game. But ultimately, I'm not banking on any one of them. I want to see what happens in this game. And that's going to tell us which wild card wide receiver from Tampa Bay are you picking up, Julio or Beasley? I'm leaning toward Julio. I don't think you'd take both of them. So there you go. Thoughts on Russell Wilson this week and in the future? I think that Russell Wilson always plays well against the Niners. I don't think it's just because he was with Seattle. I think that he knows how to play against the Niners defense. I don't think that he's ever going to be like the top tier elite quarterback, but he's going to be right on the cusp of top 10 every week. And I think that's how it's going to continue in the future. I think the more that he connects with Sutton, it could be better for him. But I think it's actually it's going to be better for Sutton in the end. Jerry Jeudy, I want to see it happen with this guy. He has so much talent. And I think that Russ Wilson can get him there. I want to see it happen. I do. I want to see it. I think Russ is I want to say he's better off right now with the trend, with the Seahawks, trending down and Denver trending up. I like where Russ Wilson is now. I think from a fantasy perspective, he's going to be just as good, if not a little bit better. I don't think he's going to be much better than he was with Seattle, but I think he's going to be a little bit better. Like I said, I think he's going to be a consistent cusp of top 10 QB every week. Val's the GOAT. Should I trade Najee and Gabe Davis for Mixon and Devontae Smith? No. My team is Russell Wilson, Najee. No. I like Gabe Davis a lot. I do like Devontae Smith a lot more than a lot of other people do, but I like Gabe Davis a lot. Najee and Mixon, people are down on Najee. His foot problem is maybe taking 1 or 2 fantasy points off his total, if that, per week. Honestly, he's been playing through it and he's been doing fine. I like Najee Harris. I like him a lot more than other people do. Mixon is going to do Mixon things. He's going to be fine. You're not gaining enough from Mixon to give up Davis for Devontae Smith. I like Davis that much more. So it's close. I wouldn't say that you're the worst person in the world if you made that trade, but why? You're not gaining enough out of it to take that kind of risk, I think. All right, so here you go. Put your tight end questions there in the chat. We're going to get over the tight ends, and then we're going to end this thing. So, all right, tight end questions up, and we're going to bring them tight ends around. Let me set that up here. Oops. Oh, my God. Everything went fucking crazy for a minute. Bear with me. All right, sorry. Yeah, we're going to get those tight ends going here. We'll talk about those, and then we're going to end the show. Sorry. There we are. Okay. All right. So there we go. My tight end rankings for week 3. Pretty standard top 4 there, right? George Kittle coming back. Yeah, I'm putting him right back in the mix. Why not? I like George Kittle. I like what he can do. He's got Jimmy G back, so we know Jimmy G is going to throw to him. That's his guy. He could do even better than that. But anyway, hold on. So, who I'm bumping up this week? Tyler Higbee. I've never really been big on this guy. The talent has been there, but the question has been about his usage. But with 20 targets over the first 2 games, it seems Stafford and the Rams are warming up to Higbee. And what do you know? So am I. He's the tight end 7 on the season so far, and in a plus matchup against the Cards, who have faced some studs at tight end, sure, but have been gashed at the position, even giving up some work to tight end 2s on those teams. They rank dead last against tight ends this season. And in a division rivalry, I expect all hands on deck in a total shootout between the Cards and Rams. So give Higbee a bump and get him in there if you can. Another bump I got it going on here is Mr. Logan Thomas. Do you have him on your roster? Yes. Is he starting for the Commanders? Yeah. Does he have a pulse? Yeah. Now, if the answer to all of those is yes, then you're starting Logan Thomas. Pretty much any week, all 3 are true. Yes, he's prone to injury. He's like a 90-year-old man in a hurricane. He's as prone to injury as a 90-year-old man in a hurricane. But when he's healthy, he's a top 10 tight end. And this week, he gets a Philly D who have been strong elsewhere, but vulnerable to the tight end position. They brought Irv Smith back to life last week, and this week, I think Logan Thomas takes advantage of their weak spot. Carson Wentz loves throwing to tight ends throughout his career, catapulting the likes of Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, and Mo Alley Cox to fantasy stardom. 5+ targets in the first 2 games strengthens my point here. An incredible DFS play, but a great move if you're streaming tight ends for the season. And I got a sleeper here in Tyler Conklin. If I told you that this season's tight end 9 with 16 targets over the past 2 weeks and double-digit fantasy points in each game this season is available in 81% of your leagues, would you shit yourself? Yeah? Well, then you better check your underoos because Conklin fits the bill. And this week, he's at home against the Bengals, a middling defensive team who's nothing special against tight ends. Joe Flacco loves this kid, and so do we. He turned things on the second half of the season, and with the Vikings last season, he turned things on with the Vikings last season. He's been turning it on this season. Joe Flacco loves this kid, and so do we. All right. He was like a top 10 tight end many weeks last season. And this season, he's getting even more of a chance to shine for the Jets and taking advantage, making himself a top 10 tight end. The availability of 81% is nuts. If he puts together a good week this week, he's going to be a must-add on waivers next week. So if you've got the room and or you need some help at the tight end spot, get ahead of the rest of your league and pick him up this week. He's a decent start this week, too, so get him in there before his price goes up. So that's who I've got. That's who I like this week. Who am I benching? Albert Okwuegbunam. Wait, is that how I say it? Albert Okwuegbunam. I think that's right. Anyway, how many times do I got to tell you? Russ doesn't throw to tight ends. Now he's got his pecking order established. It's pretty much everyone but Albert O. Even with Judy banged up, I don't like the thought of starting him against the Niners' stout D, who gave up a combined 3 points to tight ends over the first 2 games. That's best in the league right there. Was never really about this guy all season, but now I'm much less so, and I'm definitely not about him in this matchup until we see reason to bring him off the bench. Albert O, I'm putting you on the bench. Cole Kmet. Yeah, you may as well have started the corpse of... Sorry, let me start over again. Cole Kmet. Yeah, you may as well have started the corpse of Queen Elizabeth II these first couple weeks because she scored just as many points as Cole Kmet did. Too soon? Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. It is too soon. After 2 goose eggs in a row to rub it in to those who started Kmet. Right now, the Chicago Bears offense is unstartable as a whole. Until Fields... Other than Monty, of course. Until Fields starts putting together some competent drives, and gets his pass catchers going, I'm staying away from this team, and Komet especially. He's droppable in every league. Those of us who were excited about Komet must have been high as fuck, but it sure was an awful lot. Uh, but that sure was an awful lot of us, because yeah, a lot of us were on his ass. That's what happens when you legalize weed, I guess. Too bad. Cut your losses and move on, or at the very least, until he actually wakes the fuck up, keep Cole Kmet on your bench. Little caution here for Mike Gesicki. Okay, so he came back to life last week, but this guy's numbers are too volatile to ever trust. He'll put together some good weeks, sure, but just as many goose eggs, and there's been no rhyme or reason to when these will occur. Mike Gesicki is not someone I have in any leagues for this reason. For those of you who believe last week's fool's gold, better express extreme caution this week, as he'll be contending with the Bills' impenetrable D. In a bad weather game against an elite defense, I'm holding back this week. If you have absolutely nothing else of worth at tight end, you may be forced to start him, but don't expect much. All right, so there we go. So that's it. There's your tight ends. See if there's any tight end questions or last second questions here, and we'll go over those real quick. Again, if you're a Patreon member, I'm going to be putting up these rankings as a PDF, downloadable shit, so that way you can download it and reference it and do whatever you need. So that's for Patreon members only. Otherwise, take screenshots, whatever you got to do. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Whoa, let's go back up. There's a lot of questions came in here. Give me a minute. Okay, should I trade? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Val's the GOAT. What's a tight end that you think you could get for any of these players, or a combo of them? Zeke, Davis, Bateman, because my tight end is Dawson Knox. Well, then you're definitely going to want to get a new one, huh? If there's really no one available in the waiver wire, like Irv Smith, for example, Tyler Conklin, those are some guys that you can get for free. As far as who you're going to trade, I mean, it really just depends on what the other managers need in your league. So what you want to do is find someone maybe that even has two good tight ends. Like for instance, if someone has, Kelsey and Higbee, you can get a little trade in for Tyler Higbee. And I don't even think you got to trade any of those guys for him. I wouldn't really. I mean, if you can get, trade Bateman and Zeke for Mandrews, sure, I would do that. But that's really about it. I mean, and that's going to be hard to do, honestly. Logan Thomas versus Everett. Give me Logan Thomas this week. Just a hair. Just by a cunt hair, I like Logan Thomas this week. Higbee or Schultz? Higbee. I mean, Schultz is injured, right? Yeah. And Zona's giving up the tight ends. That's true. There you go. Pam's doing my work for me. Thanks, Pam. Higbee or Pitts this week? Oh, God. Wow. Why did somebody have to ask me a Pitts question? I'm going to say Kyle Pitts because when he does fucking blow it up, he's going to blow it up. But I get it. You could start Higbee this week and be fine. If you really want to get cute with it, if you really want to take the chance that it's not going to be the week that Pitts blows it up, you could start Tyler Higbee. I'm okay with that. Thoughts on Everett overall projection for the season? He's on the cusp of top 10. If Logan Thomas stays healthy, it's like right on that same level. Cusp of top 10. He's someone who you can stream. If you have two tight ends, you might be going back and forth between him and like if you have him and Higbee or something like that, that's not a bad combination. Logan Thomas is on a waiver, and I got Dawson Knox. If I don't make a trade, go get Logan Thomas. He is breathing right now. He is, as long as he's breathing, as long as he's alive, as long as he's actually playing, he's a fantasy starting tight end every week. Helios, what up? Curtis Samuel, Marquise Brown. I'm going Brown, but just barely this week. Sorry, I've got some sweat going on here. Brown, but just barely. If you really feel like you want to go with Curtis Samuel, I'm not going to blame you for it. Personally, I'm going just barely Brown. A little more than Cunhair though, but still just barely. Oh yeah, we got that. Okay. Also thoughts on stashing likely for later in the season. I do it. Excuse me. Especially if you're weak at tight end. Yeah. Like if you're someone who's streaming tight ends week to week and you stash him until he becomes consistent, that's a good idea. Hawkinson or Pitts? I'm not going to not say Pitts. I mean, come on. He's got to throw it together. He's got to put it together. The guy, he's got all the talent in the world. Everyone was down on him. Oh, he didn't do so great last season. Since when has a tight end hit the top 10 as a rookie? They don't. Okay? And he did. Yeah, I see a lot bigger things for him in the future. Yeah, right now, he's not it. But any second, he's going to blow up. And Hawkinson, not enough of a good week this week. Not enough of a good matchup for me to start him over Pitts. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I can see why you might be thinking that, but nah. Thanks, man. Have a great night. Thank you, Helios. Would I trade Montgomery for Hurts? Yeah. I mean, if you need a quarterback, why not? Like if you're in a 2-quarterback league or something, if someone's going to give you Hurts for Montgomery, yeah. If you are someone who's like a Trey Lance owner or a Dak Prescott owner, excuse me, yeah. I mean, if you've got like some other good running backs there, yeah. As a, if you're using Monty as a running back 2 or flex, and you can get Hurts from him, I'd do it. Start 2 PPR: CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown, Garrett Wilson, Thielen, Bateman. CeeDee, I'm starting. Like I said, him and Cooper Rush had fine enough chemistry last season. I'm not worried about it. I'm barely going Brown over Wilson, but I can see why you want Wilson there. Thielen will have a bounce back week. Bateman, that's actually a really good, nice little grouping right there. That's really hard. CeeDee for sure, but after that, it's like a fucking crapshoot. Hold on. But yeah, I gotta go with Marquise Brown, with Hollywood Brown on that one. Barely, but yeah. I already got that. I have Burrow. I mean, is this a 1-quarterback league? Because if it is, then what are you going to do with Burrow? Is that part of the trade? Because then I'm not trading Burrow and Montgomery. If it was straight up Montgomery for Hurts, sure. But what I would do in that case is I would do Montgomery and Burrow for Hurts and get some other nice piece in there. Like if you need another wide receiver for depth, I'd go that route. CeeDee, Deontay Johnson, Marquise Brown, good group for a 10 team. I don't know. I'm not liking the Steelers so much this year. I like Deontay Johnson though, but we gotta wait and to see. So if Kenny Pickett comes in and starts throwing to Johnson a little bit more, yeah, I like it. I'm worried about Brown once Hopkins comes back. What I would try to do is wait till Marquise Brown has a really good week, then trade him. I also have Keenan Allen. I actually really like Keenan Allen. I think overall, then that's probably with those 4, that's a good one. What I would do is I would try to do get Marquise Brown on a really good week, put him and Johnson together, do a 2-for-1 for someone who needs depth and maybe has 2 or 3 really good wide receivers, but need some depth there or something. I don't know. There's different trades that you can make. If you have running backs that you can trade with them, try to trade strength for strength, weakness for weakness, etc. There's a lot that you can do and play with that. If you click on the link down below to Patreon, sign up with me, get some one-on-one. I'll actually look at your whole team and any team that you want. Just take any screenshot you want. Just don't make it like something illegal or whatever. Make it fantasy football related. Send it over to me, and I will analyze, and I'll tell you what exactly you can do. That I can offer you. So simple as that. $5 a month, and you get that. It's easy. What is it? Less than a fucking cup of coffee from Starbucks. What can I say? You think Pacheco carves out a bigger role for the Chiefs this season? I think he does. But with the way that CEH has been playing right now, I don't think it's going to be enough to take over. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is finally putting it together. Too good. I know it's just 2 weeks in. We want to wait and see. But if things go with this trend right now, I see Pacheco as being someone who I'm handcuffing definitely to CEH. But other than that, you can stash him if you got the room. But otherwise, like for those of you, for people who've like taxied him or something like that, it's good to keep him there. So Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, DM, waiting for. Yeah, I'd say that before Hopkins comes back, trade Marquise Brown and Deontay Johnson. Like if they both have a really good week, trade them in a 2-for-1. Gits, what's up? My team is in shambles. My main guy is Cup, Connor, Dobbins, Mike Evans. What trade package? See, again, I need to know more information. I need to know your whole team. I need to know what the rosters of the other teams, what the league looks like. I need a lot more information. Again, go on down to Patreon, sign up with me. Again, it's $5 a month. If you're in a league where you can get paid out hundreds of dollars, it's worth it. If not, okay, fine. I guess I can see why I can do the best I can, but it's just there's so little information to go with. There's so much. I am a master when it comes to trading. I will not. I hold no fucking ego there either because I'm fucking good at this shit. But I need to know all the information to help you with that. Cup, Connor, Dobbins, Mike Evans. See what happens when Dobbins comes back. Because if Dobbins is back and he's great, you don't want to give him up. If he's back and he looks, but then he has a really good game, oh, he's back, and then you package him up with one of those guys and you trade him up for a better running back. Like you could do that for a Java Williams. I'd do it. But anyway, to really know exactly what to do, I need to look at your league and figure out how to put those things together, because that's how I do it in my leagues. This show's gone on way too long. That's okay, because a lot of people on here with questions. That's great. Remember, too, tomorrow morning, Tinker Stinker Power Hour, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. All right? Thanks. I appreciate advice. It's definitely worth being a Patreon member each month. Hashtag Tyrant Gang. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for the shout out there. I agree. It's pretty cheap. If I want to trade away Antonio Gibson and or Jacobs, who can I get? Well, if you were to package Antonio Gibson and Jacobs together and get someone like Javonte Williams or on that level, like a low end RB1, high end RB2. But then at this point, you're thinking Antonio Gibson is already there as that. I think that goes away. Now, if you could find somebody who's looking at what's going on now and you can package together Gibson and Jacobs and go after Chubb or Smith or Swift or something, you go for it. Try it. All right. I'd say no lower than Javonte Williams. I'd say that's your floor there. All right, ladies and gents, that's it. Thank you so much for being on the show. We went a bit long, but I answered a lot of questions, which is good. That's what we're here to do. But if you have more questions, come back and see me tomorrow morning. We're going to have more information. I'm going to share injury updates, weather reports. I'm going to share my streaming kickers, streaming defenses, and my double deep danger dives of the week at each position. Yeah, my deep dives. So we're going to go through all of that. Plus, I'll answer all your last second sit-em stardom questions tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. All right? Thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much for being here, for supporting this show. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Share this with everyone you know. All right? I love you all. Have a good night. I'll be back for the Tinker Stinker Power Hour tomorrow morning. Until then, I'm out. Peace.